Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Sunday, May 14th, around 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 2023. A truly horrifying sight in the Bay of Bengal as Cyclone Mocha makes landfall as Cat 5. But the big story, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We love you. Mother's Day forecast, severe weather putting 10 million at risk of damaging winds, large hail, and isolated tornadoes. St. Louis, Paducah, Evansville, heads up if you're in this region. Keep calm. It's boom time. Seattle's heat smashed a record Saturday. Sunday could be even hotter. We had record temperatures across the West. And here we are over at Cool WX that is monitoring the last 24 hours, where we can see that explosion of record temperatures up in the Pacific Northwest here. This is due to a huge trough and the meridional flow, the breakdown of the jet stream, and the deepening magnetic excursion in grand solar minimum. And that means we're going to see unseasonably warm temperatures some places with unseasonably cold right after.
Seasonably warm, that is an understatement. Record temperatures continue across parts of the Northwest. You get a little bit of a break on Tuesday, but then it's right back into the heat, especially for the mid part of the week and in the interior. So Monday, Tuesday, still going to be hot for you, but you notice you're dropping down into the 80s in places like Portland, Yakima, and Eugene. Overnights will be in the 50s and 60s for the most part, so very refreshing there. And then we get into the middle to the end of the week, it heats up again. Check it out. Look in places like Yakima, you're in the 90s. Portland, seeing 2 days of 90s. Boise hits the 90s by Friday, and Redding is going to be in the mid-90s through the entire period. So temperatures well above normal expected for the Northwest, for the Basin and Range, all the way out into the eastern slopes of the Rockies.
So we could see more record temps in the Pacific Northwest throughout the week. Severe thunderstorms hit Oklahoma Saturday for a third consecutive day. Hey. As heavy rain floods parts of South Texas. Take a look at this. This is parts of South Texas inundated from thunderstorms. Some regions could have seen up to 10 inches. We were showing that on the precipitation accumulation map over the last several days. In Yorktown, the Yorktown Creek swelled, causing water to enter nearby buildings here. Really, additional rainfall could worsen flooding. Who knew? Now, we also had some damage in Nebraska to farmland. This is by a tornado. And here you can see a barn crushed, maybe some other structures and some homes here. Definitely outbuildings affected at this farm. The good news is that this tornadic activity wasn't as deadly and destructive as it could have been. So there is always a blessing in a disaster. As you can see, the home looks largely unaffected here. That's good news for them, but a lot of cleanup in Nebraska. And another tornado striking a Texas border town. At least one person is dead near a tornado that struck near Brownsville, Texas. The South Texas community of Laguna Heights was hit hard by the tornado, preliminarily rated an EF1. Up to 60 homes were damaged and power lines were down, forcing a road closure. Winds may have reached 110 miles per hour. That is another story that we should our hearts and prayers go out to all those affected. Full forecast, western heat persists. Fire and flood potential as Alaska thaws. Strong high pressure will continue producing hot temperatures in the west. In Alaska, warming temperatures have led to ice jams and flooding on the Yukon and Tanana rivers. A strong system in the west coast will bring high winds, heavy rain, and potential for ice shoves. Gusty, dry winds will produce critical fire weather threats for parts of the interior Alaska. Just one little region there, so heads up and click on your county for more information. There is still some snow in the forecast, and it looks like even the Sierras, high elevations in Colorado, will be picking up snow. It looks like, let's rhyme this back. Next weekend, we could be picking up some snow. And Saturday, Sunday, the 22nd, and then another system potentially moves into the high elevations. But overall, the snow pattern has ended as a powerful cyclone Mocha makes landfall in Myanmar, tearing off roofs and killing at least 3. Here is a picture of the truly horrifying sight that was in the Bay of Bengal, reaching Cat 5, major eye forming. And we do have some footage from landfall. And these are all over on our Twitter feed at Diamond the Dave. Here we can see some more flooding from Cyclone Mocha. That doesn't look good. This one is crazy. Stuff floating around, some toys, a little bit of debris blowing. And then the final video will show there's going to be some prayer. I think he's actually saying God is good as everything is being destroyed there by the wind. Kind of weird. Well, at least you can sing away the fear. Seismic update. Most recent quake in Japan, 5.1 at 10 kilometers. No other quakes of note worldwide. We have some activity in the mid-ocean ridges and an uptick in the Pacific Northwest, specifically Mount Rainier, where a large series of quakes has occurred over the last 10 days. And the numbers are approaching a level that is considered high. 43 earthquakes over 30 days, with over 2 earthquakes per day for the last 10. We're going to be keeping a close eye here over on Mount Rainier. Let's blow it up and look at some of those quakes there in Mount Rainier National Park. There we go. And you can see a wide range of quakes over a wide area. So no one particular clustering, which would be indicative of an imminent eruption. We would see dozens of quakes here near the caldera or in one particular region. But overall, it appears as if Mount Rainier is becoming slightly more active, potentially with some magma filling a reservoir. Worldwide volcano news update. No volcanic eruptions of note. Normal activity from Popo, Sabancaya, Nevado de Ruiz, Popo, Ibico, Semaru, and Sakurajima. Space weather news update. All is quiet on the sun. The disk is appearing to get slightly blank as these sunspots fade away. We've just got a few small spots on the disk, and we are in solar max. The peak of solar max will be in about 10 or 11 months. But in the meantime, this is a very weak sun. So all solar indices also very low, very similar to solar cycle 24, and very little flaring. 3-day geomagnetic forecast, all calm, and we are at KP.5. You are almost psychic. Here's the Discover Solar Wind, and you can see all that telemetry. Quieting down. Plasma speed just hovering at about 500. Everything is pretty quiet. Little shift in the phi angle. Now that rock that we talked about that punched a hole in a New Jersey house, the metallic rock, it has been confirmed to be a 4.6 billion year old meteorite. Fantastic. And if he's allowed to keep it, he's going to get quite a few dollars for that meteorite if he's going to sell it. The apparent meteorite struck a house in Hopewell Township, New Jersey, just across the river from Bucks County on May 8th, 2023. That is my boyhood stomping ground. A metallic-looking rock that smashed through the roof of a residential home in Hopewell Township earlier this week is indeed a meteorite, and a rare one at that. A 4.6 billion year old meteorite, according to scientists confirmed Thursday, May 11th. So that's pretty interesting. It was obvious right away from looking at it that this was a meteorite in a class called Stony Chondrite, according to Nathan McGee, chair of the physics department at the College of New Jersey, whose office was contacted by Hopewell Township police soon after the rock was found. Chondrites are primitive rocks made up of 85% of meteorites found on Earth. Most chondrites found to date have been discovered in Antarctica, and only rarely does one crash through a home in New Jersey. Fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? This is what NASA's New Horizons probe saw when they flew close to the surface of Pluto during its approach to the dwarf planet. Undoubtedly one of the most bizarre landscapes ever recorded. These are ice mountains, it appears to be, on Pluto. What type of ice? I'd have to do some research. Maybe methane. But just a fantastic landscape and a very alien world. What say you? Leave a comment below. As America's fast food chains are now using seaweed, soy, and even wood pulp to beef up the menu items. Yeah, it's not food. It is a processed poison. So if you're eating at places like McDonald's, Wendy's, Carl's Jr., Subway, Jack in the Box, Whataburger, Burger King, Domino's, Dairy Queen, Arby's, White Castle, and more, you could find out that the chicken might actually be partially wood or hydrolyzed soy protein, even sodium phosphate, modified cornstarch, and lipolyzed butter oil. So what we suggest is that you find a source of clean meat where you know the farmer and you know the animals and none of it is wood. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.